Okay, so welcome to tonight's team call, and I wanted to share with you how I've been using Evernote to help keep me organized with my business, with coaching, and with just life in general, with so many things going on as a mom. So first and foremost, I want to tell you that, if you have never tried, some sort of organization thing, don't feel like there's only one that you need to try. You need to stick with it. I have been trying to be better at organization as a coach for a year now, and I've tried several different things out there. There is things that I've tried in the past. I've tried Teamsy. I did the free trial with that. Google Streak. I still use that somewhat because I like the way for the flow to know when someone is joining a group, things like that. I've tried Asana. I've tried pen and paper. Try to memorize who I'm supposed to talk to each day. But as my contact list is growing, I needed something that was going to be easier, and so I didn't feel like I was just spinning my wheels. Like, who do I talk to today? Like, who said they were interested, and I never followed up. Because when I started I've been using Evernote for a little over a week now, so not super long, but I've been trying to convert all my contacts over, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this person asked me about what it is I do, or they wanted to join a challenge group, and I never returned a message. And right now, maybe you only have a few contacts, so it's easy to know who you're talking to. But I promise you that, you're going to get more contacts, and you're going to say, well, I don't remember this person because they're not warm market people. And so you can't be like, well, I just need to follow up with that friend from school, or I need to follow up with, aunt, whoever it is, or your cousin, because you're going to forget who these people are because you don't know them personally. So it's great to have a system. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. And I always forget this, right, Crystal? Let's go. All right, so this is the screen. Oh, not that one. How do I switch out here? Sorry, a little technical difficulty. So here is Evernote for me on, let me see if I can move you guys down. You can Google it, you can have it right on the web. So you can go, www.evernote.com, and it pulls up. You can have a free account. I also have it on my phone. It syncs with it. Or you can download the program. So I actually don't use the web version, if that's what you call it. Like over here, can you guys see my screen? Okay, I want to make sure it's working. So over here, there's like different tabs on here. I'll be honest, I haven't used this on the web. I'll show you what I use here. The downloaded version, like, let me see if I can go over, which was this one. Let me make this a little bigger. So this is when I've downloaded it. It's on my computer. I have an icon on there. And as you can see at the top here, can you see across this bar here? It has, the file, edit, view, note, all those different views for you. And I don't see that on the web version. Maybe I'm wrong on some of them, but this is the version that I like the best. All right, so up here on the top, you can, let me go. So over here you have all these. Let me get this view here. So these are your notebooks. So when you first start, you want to make a new notebook. And this first notebook is right here that you see is from when I very first downloaded Evernote. I heard someone was like, oh, it's a great thing to take notes in. And I, got the app on my phone. And the only thing I honestly used it for was, when you're laying in bed at night and you're like, oh, I have this great topic that I want to do a video on, or I want to do a post on. So I just grabbed my phone and I just typed it in there, and there's no organization in that little notebook, but it was just so I could go to sleep and stop thinking about the thing I wanted to talk about. But now I've obviously changed it up a little bit, so you can just go, is it edit? See, I don't know if I can remember. Oh, file, and do like a new note or a new notebook. A new notebook is going to give you a whole new like category out here. Think of them kind of like filing drawers. So like whatever you want to like give the heading for. Like, so this one here, my challenge group ideas. All of these are free things that I found, other coaches sharing challenge group ideas. I have a ton of these that have been in my Google Drive, and I want to get them over here because in here you can, kind of the same as Google Drive, but can set up so I can share these notebooks with our team. And so you can just go in and, you know, go through it and see, well, I want to know more about this group. Maybe you need an idea, you know, it has posts in here. Here's another one I've uploaded the other day. So it'll be something easy for me to share with the team by just, you know, giving you guys access to go in and do this. So that is my challenge group one. And I'm really working on adding more stuff to this and things like that. So you got your notebooks here, okay? So let's go into, I'll do the coach one. So in here, I've set up this template. I named it client template. So if you want to make a new note, you'll just go to the file section and click a new note. So your notes are going to be, whoops, the notes will be like the files in the file drawer, if that makes sense. So say you have something like I'm going to set one up about, you know, mom life, and that's going to be a topic I'm going to post about on my page. And so when I find something, the great thing is that you can just copy and paste it in here. You don't have to download a picture. You know, if maybe you find something on Pinterest or somewhere else that you love, you can just, you know, drag it into your note. So then you have that idea for when you want to use it later on. So this is your, like my new note here. It shows right here that it's in my coach's notebook. If I want to change it, just the drop down arrow to what notebook I want it in. And then you can just start typing along, things like that. So let me close that view. So I'll show you my template here. And I set this up as a system to kind of have a flow of, you know, what do I do with the person? You know, I've been using Gmail with the snippets and Streak, which is great. But I've been finding it's really hard, like, when did we talk last? What did we talk about? What do they want? This is great because I have it all in one view. So like this, if it looks small, it's super easy to just change your view here. Take the left panel off, take the note list off, and so you have this big view of your sheet. So now I've set it up in different categories. What's my next step? So say if I talk to Crystal, what's the next thing when a reminder pops up? What do we need to chat about? Have I sent her the link and she just hasn't purchased yet? Or maybe we're still working on goals. You know, I can put that there so that I know right away and I don't have to like dig through what are we supposed to talk about. Let me see. Sorry, my mouse is being silly tonight. So I put the source so I know where I found them. Like, were they from my like page? Do they fill out one of my forms to join a group? Are they from my free group? Are they just a friend of mine on Facebook from high school? You know, kind of let you know where they are, because you never know, you might someday have a virtual assistant, and that way it'd be easier for them to find them as well. Recent activity I put here is like, when did we last chat? So I've been going through a lot, so it would be like, okay, we chatted today and we talked about like what our goals are. Maybe there's a price objection to something, so that way I'll know that we chatted about this, and now when I talk next time, you know, I need to give something to help overcome that objection. Goals, whoops, see, I told you I'm having issues tonight. The goal section here I think is important to write down, because if you don't know what their goals are, it's gonna be hard for us to help them. Like, great example is I sent out an invite to people on my like page one day, and I was like, I worded it something like, you know, join my group. I know that I can help you lose 10 to 15 pounds in the next 30 days. And she replies back and says, actually, I need to gain weight. So that right there was like, you know, I didn't take the time or to get to know her more. It was one of those where she sometimes would comment and sometimes would not respond back. So I'm learning that, you know, get to know their goals to see where it is that we can help them more with. Struggles, what do they struggle with? Like on my forum, I ask a lot, like, maybe they have acid reflux, or maybe they have some sort of allergy. Maybe they have some sort of injury. Write that in there. Maybe they're a busy mom and they struggle to find time. Put that there so you can kind of know what to say to them, how working out at home, you know, a 10-minute workout, how all those things would benefit that person. Oops. See, I told you guys. Sorry if you're watching the recording of this, because, you know, technical difficulties. So the interest is where I put, like, are they interested in learning more about a yoga program, or do they like kickboxing? And some of this information I'll get off the forms. You know, if they said they what they've done in the past is something that they like, or when you're, connecting and asking them questions, do they like dance workouts? Do they, or are they interested in learning about coaching? Put that there. It kind of gives you an idea of how to steer the conversation. Like I said, it's all in one spot. The relationships form is where I put things like, are they married? How many kids do they have? What kind of job do they have? Things like that. So it's really going to help you at a glance there. So this checklist, like I said, this is brand new. And so this checklist is where I'm going to kind of flow through with new people that come as, I use this the same for, mainly for my challengers right now, people coming in. And I'm working on a checklist for coaches because I've noticed that as I'm getting more coaches, there's some things that I wish I would have done in a certain sequence. And so I think, having some sort of checklist is really going to help me to help you guys. But also, it helps keep everything organized, and I'm not like, oh, I forgot to mention, this to a challenger or this to a new coach, because let's face it, we all get busy and we forget to do things, right? I'm trying to use my MailChimp more, and in the Fit Powerment, we talked about that, and setting up like newsletters and things like that. It makes it easier for people to opt out. Is one thing, because I was getting emails from some people that were like, can you please take me off your list? And, that way it's easier instead of just Gmail, and they can just unsubscribe themselves. I also like MailChimp because you can make it look prettier than just an email. So it makes it look a little more professional, things like that. So then I just go through this, like, what have we talked about? Did I send a welcome email to the new person, to the new group? Did I add them to the challenge group? So, some of these are new that I haven't done that I wanted to start implementing. So if you're thinking, well, I never got that, that's probably why, and I apologize. Different things on here that I think would help people to be more successful, and remind them about their auto ship date, offer them the discount, things like that. Then on the bottom is just, just some quick information at a glance. Like, what program do they do? A lot of them are all access, but some, have just a single program as well. When did they sign up? What's their auto ship date? Things like that. So it's all in one spot, so I don't have to like search for them. And then one thing I want to start doing is birthdays, because I think it's fun to recognize people on their birthdays, even if it embarrasses us sometimes, right? But just to have those little shout outs to be remembered. So that is kind of in a nutshell how I do that. And I'll show you one that so this is, let me go here. Like I said, see, I'm still learning and figuring out all this. And see, so I have my challenge group ideas, clients. Those are people that are actually are my customers. Maybe they were Beachbody leads, and that's how they're customers with me. Or maybe it's someone who's in a challenge group. I will be honest, a lot of the free leads that I've gotten from Beachbody, I don't really have much contact with them, and I've heard that's not unusual. So if you get those free leads because you hit Success Club 10 and you reach out to them and they never respond, don't feel like you're alone. But I still follow up with them. So in here, so let's go see if I can find, I'll just pick this one right here. So this person is from the customer program, which is a lead, and they have a club membership, which means the Beachbody on Demand. And then I put the last order date, things like that. And then you can come up here, this little drop down arrow, and you can click a reminder. So say I wanted to change the date. So I give everyone a date unless they say do not contact me, okay? So you want to be following up with every single person. So I have his set at the 26th, so I'll just leave it like that. And you can pick whatever time or whatever date you want. And I'm trying to go by the follow-ups that Raina Odell had shared with us at Super Sunday. And I'll share with our group as well. But I think it was like after the first contact, you follow up in a week, and then another week, and then another. So 3 weeks in a row. And then after that, you just follow up with them each month until they're like, you know what, take me off your list, or we're not interested anymore. So you kind of have a flow of how you're going to follow up with them, because that is something I've struggled with too. Like, when do I ask them again? When do I try to make contact with them again? And when you're doing these follow-ups, it doesn't always have to be like, are you going to join now? Are you going to join now? Get to know them, see what's going on in their life at that moment. So after you get the reminder, or put the date on that reminder section, if you click here on reminders, it shows you, like today, all these people, like I said, it's been a crazy day. I have not checked in with these people each day. So it's going to give you a follow-up list based on that date that you put as the reminder. So honestly, it's kind of like Teamsy in that way, if you tried Teamsy, where you can kind of set up a date. But I like this here part, that I can set it up however I want, and I can see what we've been talking about, things like that. And it's free, so that's my favorite part. So that is kind of how I set that up. And the same I did for families I want to help, instead of saying prospects, because I really want to help these people instead of thinking them as just a prospect. So same thing, I've gone through and I've started transferring people over from my like page to here. Yes, it's taken some time, but I think it's really going to help. Maybe by the beginning of the year, it takes that much time to get the system really going, that it will help. But no matter what system you're using, I think give yourself 60 days, 90 days to do it, to see if it's working before throwing in the towel. So then I set up this here. I don't have anything in this one yet, the Fit Boss Nation, and this is what I want to use for our team page, like new coach handbook, put all that in here so it's all online, and so I don't have to send an email and you're like, did I get that email, did I not? You can just log into your own Evernote and see what I've put in here, things like that. Important phone numbers or emails, things like that will be in that spot. What do I have in this folder? So this here is, I actually put in the snippets that we got from Raina, because I was reading through them and I was like, they're so simple. Like, I thought her things were going to be more complicated, honestly, and more in depth about what she talked about. So I put them in here, and then I can just copy them and paste them and then tweak them to be my voice when I'm following up with someone. So I think I've uploaded that into our team page. If not, I will double check. So I will, and it's like, here's all of her follow-ups in there. So the templates, this is where I am, I have my client template, oops, and then the coach flow. This, see? So this is something that I really want to start implementing. I can't even talk today. But having, a flow, when I get a new coach, how do we make it a smooth transition for someone going from a challenger to a coach to learning, because there's so much information out there. And I know a lot of people feel overwhelmed of like, well, I need to do this training and this training and I need to do this. And, it gets to be a lot. And I'll be honest, because that's how I was. When I very first started, I didn't have, an upline coach giving me information of this is how you duplicate this, or this is where you find training. This is the national wake-up call. I had no idea what to do. I was Googling and YouTubing, and that was my best friend. So really, it's your best friend too. Like, you're going to find so much information. Some of the top coaches put so many of their own trainings on YouTube. So check it out if you haven't. But, kind of have a flow here, because I really want it to make a team that, you guys can just, use the same format as you build your team and as you get more challengers and coaches under you, so it makes it easier, so you don't have to be, trying to make something up as you go along, like I feel like I've done for so long. So, I've kind of gone through like what happens when you get a new coach, things like that. Make sure to talk about success clubs, success starters, and things like that, all these little things that, should be sharing as a coach. And then gifts when you hit emerald rank and then diamond ranked. And yeah, I did find a lot of this by watching other training videos about coaches using Evernote with Beachbody on YouTube. And I thought, why can't I implement this? They're not my coach, but I loved what they were doing. And so a lot of this, if you Google Evernote and Beachbody coaching or something like that on YouTube, you'll find some of these same formats on there. So let me see, was there any other? Oh, my to-do, yeah. So this is my to-do list. This is where I check in every day, and I actually have pinned this at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Is that bar in your way? Let me see if I can. Oops. Okay, so I'll just, you see how I've pinned these up here? And this here is my weekly to-do list. Let me put this back. So on here, I made this chart, and I did this right in making a note. So I'll show you how I did the how I made the little chart, because I thought this was really cool. I've been wanting a checklist of some sort to, like, did I get all my work done for the day? Because I'll be honest, there are times where, you know, I don't have like a designated 1 hour power hour, or just working on my business for a designated, you know, amount of time. It's in little pockets. So a little bit before we get school started, or when the kids are on lunch break, I'll do a little bit then, you know, so it's scattered throughout the day. And I needed something to keep me on track. Like, did I follow up with the people I was supposed to follow up today? Did I get all these things done? And so that's where I like this chart. So when you're in the note setting here, you just go here to insert a table, and you can pick however big you want it. And so it just goes in there, and then type in whatever it is that you want. Like, did you drink your Shakeology today? And then over here, you can just add in these little check boxes, things like that. So it's really easy to get them in there. Let's see, what else did I put in? Let me go back to my, where's my, so like this here, I put in all these different little tasks. Sorry, I don't like it when it has all this on the side for me. To show me, like, did I do my workout? Obviously, I can't really work out right now, so that has been blank. But drinking your Shakeology, or for me, I can't have Shakeology because of the grain, so I've been drinking Daily Sunshine. Eating clean, personal development, and I've been checking it and putting how many minutes I'm doing. Because I'm also tracking to see, you know, having more minutes of personal development, is it helping me to increase my volume, to, you know, move my business forward that way, instead of just like checking it off and yes, I did it. Training minutes, this here I put as like the social team builder training that I'm in, or watching a YouTube video of some, you know, upline coach with something that they have that was great for me to listen to, or in the Beachbody Champions page. I love that page for trainings. My thank yous is when I thank people for, like, you know, I don't thank them for liking my page anymore, but when they comment on a post. Like, I honestly, I'm way behind because I had some posts with, you know, like 300 comments on. I'm still trying to play catch up on that. So that's my thank yous. Check-in. Did I check in with these different groups for the day? Did I post, you know, at least 3 times on Facebook? Did I do a live video? And I don't do a live video every day, but I have, right, Crystal? And I made you do one for 30 days. So I'm trying to get better at Instagram. So I put this in here. I mean, you don't have to have the exact same things on yours, but I put these because things that I thought that I wanted to get done, and I was like, oh, I didn't really do it today, and I'll do it tomorrow, you know, and I kept pushing things off. So now if I can see, well, I haven't done it yet, and it's the end of the week, I better get it done. And I've written things in on my planner, and that didn't work for me, so I like the checklist view. So did I do, you know, did I check into my email? I've been using Typeform for my forms, and I really like it. I was using Wufoo for a while. I've used Google Forms. Maybe I was doing it wrong, but I didn't get a notification when they filled the form out. And I'm not with Typeform either. I'm still learning that, but I have it on here to check it every single day. So respond to Facebook messages. Something I'm working on more is recognition, since it's one of the vital behaviors. So did I have a challenge of the week? Did I shout out a coach? Things like that. And then here is my invites, because we know inviting is so important. So I want to make sure I'm doing at least 5 invites to either to joining the challenge group or learning about being a coach. So I want to make sure that I'm getting those done, because I'll be honest, I've been scared to death about inviting to the business. And so I think getting myself out of that comfort zone, and I think along with making sure I'm getting my personal development in, is really going to help with that. Then follow up, check with the challengers. So I can put this in our team page on here that I'm going to share. So if you guys want to duplicate this or add different things or do something totally different, whatever works for you. I want to get better at using my blog. Newsletter is my MailChimp. Set up the team call. All those things. And then I realized I put this on this page, but I actually like it better on, I'll show you this one, my Reach for the Stars group. And this is, at first I have printed this out, but I found that I have so many papers laying around with school, and now being that I can't actually sit at my desk for very long, that I do a lot of work from my phone or my computer sitting in the recliner, so it helps to have everything digital. So like how many customers did I have this week? You know, and I do this for the month. So for the month of October, I'll show you here. I just have it spread across. Obviously I didn't get these in here, but to kind of just track it, and when I look down like, oh, well, I was doing a lot more personal development here, you know, it kind of reflects your income. I'm tracking people on my page and Instagram and my YouTube subscribers and views as well. These are all things that I'm weaker in my Instagram and my YouTube, but I'm trying to get better at it. So I figure if I'm tracking it, maybe it'll keep me a little more accountable to keep doing it. And the great thing is when you do a live video on Facebook, do you guys know how you can download your videos from Facebook and then you can upload it to YouTube? So you can repurpose that same content and not have to do another video, which is awesome. So that kind of is, you know, there's different things, and it syncs right to my phone. So like I can be on my phone of who do I need to check in for the day. You know, you can have all these things right on your phone. Like I said, I'm still learning a lot on there. I can unmute you guys here. I know how to do that. So like I said, it's something that I've just started using. It's been kind of time consuming to transfer everything over, but I think having everything in one spot is going to make it easier, because even going into the Coach Online Office, which I mean, you know, it's the new version now, and maybe it's just me, but so say it showed Crystal had ordered something the other day, but it doesn't show me what she ordered, where before I used to be able to see that. And so I mean, it's a little bit confusing. Maybe that's a glitch. Maybe it's something they're working out. But I think it was like your all access or something like that. But so I've been trying to, you know, add that. And now when I go back and I follow up with someone and I can say, well, they were on Shakeology 3 months ago, but they haven't ordered, you know, I put that last order date in there, but they said that they skip breakfast every day. So you have, you know, what their struggles were to help, you know, reconnect them why Shakeology would be important again. So like I said, it's something I'm just starting to use, but I'm really liking it because it has that reminder every day of who do I need to follow up with. Because it gets scary of like, well, I know I need to follow up with this person, but I don't know if I really want to talk to them. You get that feeling in your stomach. Please tell me I'm not alone. But it's like, oh, I don't really want to like talk to that person, or they said they were going to join, but they never did, you know, and you're like, you don't want to be bugging them. But remember, this is our business. And so what's the worst thing they're going to say is no, right? And then, I mean, they're not going to like, you're not going to die if they say no. You just move on to the next person. And that is so something that I really, oops, better wrap it up soon. We're running out of time here. But that's something that I really struggled with was, well, what if they say no? So what? You move on to the next person. You know, just because they say no doesn't mean never. Not right now is what it means. You know, follow up with them in 3 months, or, you know, just stay in contact as a friendship with them and see where life is taking them. So that's kind of what I've been doing the last few days. Like I said, I'm trying to get more things in there. And the other thing is that we can collaborate together. Like I can set up a notebook that is, say we want to work in a challenge group together. And so whoever's on it has access. They can add stuff for each day. So that way it's, you know, it's just a great way to do things digitally. I mean, I know people have used Google Drive, but if you saw my Google Drive, it is not, it's a disaster, okay? Like, and I'm not very organized in that. So maybe you guys have some other tips that work great, and that's awesome. Let us know what you've been using. But do you guys have any questions of how I've been using it or setting it up? Or
Nope.
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I've just been trying to figure it out. Oh, and the other thing that I really want, I want to make a notebook for all of my ebooks that I've been making. You know, because I'll download them and I have them on, you know, on my computer. Then it's like, well, what did I have? Because my Canva is a mess too. I don't delete anything in there unless I know I'm not going to use it again. Like I have the free account, so I don't have all the folders. And but I figure if I put them all in there, that way I'm like, oh, I want to give someone the smoothie ebook or something. They're all organized. The same as with like taking notes from team calls or national wake up calls. Put that in there, and you can take. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you, that when you, let me go back there really quick. You can tag in here. So say let's go. So this I have as a template on here. But say you have someone who Shakeology, whatever flavor they like, or the certain Shakeology, or all access, or maybe it's an upcoming challenge group. You can just put in a tag here. That way you don't have to go through everyone's, thing to try to find it. You can just search up here, like say I wanted to search all access, and it's going to bring up these people that I've tagged with all access. So it makes it an easy filing system, which has been working for me so far. I'm sure there'll be things that I learn along the way, but I needed something to make it so I didn't feel like I was spending hours trying to figure out what to do or who to talk to. So that's what I've been doing. I'm going to stop the recording here.